All right, so I'm going to kind of review a few things today that you can look for on a geometry test tomorrow. So we're going to, this kind of serves a huge purpose. One, it's a good way to review for the surface area, focus area, if you haven't finished it, if you haven't completed it yet. And two, these questions that I'm going over are like exactly what you're going to see for the next day, tomorrow, for a test of sorts that will count as a test grade in that unit, surface area unit. So I'm going to review this in chunks, each of the objectives. If you follow along here, kind of get an idea of what's going on here, that my test questions are going to be basically the same stuff with different numbers. You know, if you'll use these videos and watch them and actually use them and practice them and taking notes and write this stuff down, you should be fine. Okay, I'm giving you essentially answers. It just requires you to put forth the effort of saying, yeah, I care. Okay, so this is what we're working on. So the first objective will be being able to find the area of triangles and rectangles. So triangle is this formula: base times height divided by 2, right? So a lot of you are forgetting the divided by 2 part. You're doing base times height and then leaving it alone. And you're forgetting to divide by 2. And that's the most important part of finding the area of a triangle. So if I'm looking at this first triangle, my base is 6, my height is 8, and then divided by 2. So I'm doing 6 times 8 divided by 2. 6 times 8 is 48 divided by 2. So this is going to be 24 inches squared. It's just plugging in the numbers for what they represent. Okay, if you find base, plug in base. Don't recreate numbers, don't recreate formulas, don't just start randomly multiplying and adding things. There's a formula for a reason. That's why they're there. Okay, so when I look at the next triangle and I say, okay, base times height divided by 2. So the base is 10, the height is 8 divided by 2. 10 times 8 is 80 divided by 2, 40. Okay, 40 units squared because this is area. All right. Looking at rectangles. Now, this one is a little bit different because there's like 2 different types of rectangles going on there. So first thing that we need to know is that the area of a rectangle is length times width. Okay? So triangles, base times height divided by 2. Rectangles, length times width. And this says to find the area of just the shaded region. Oh, so we want to know just the area of what's in gray. So let's start with this whole big rectangle. So the length is 32 and the width is 20, right? So I'm going to multiply 32 times 20. I'm using a calculator. And that's 640. Now, that's not the answer because look at this right here. This part right here is like someone took scissors and cut it out. It's a donut hole, right? And it's a square. And this side is 9. You may go, well, it doesn't give me the other sides. Yeah, it does. It's a square. And so the other side is 9. And area is length times width for a square. So 9 times 9. So I'm going to do 9 times 9, which is 81. Now, since that was cut out, I'm going to take 640 minus 81. And I get 559 feet squared. Because I only wanted the area of just the shaded part. So I had to find the area of both of these two and subtract, okay, because this was being cut out. All right, so look for some questions like that. That's one of the things that you're going to see as we're doing this.